निरन्तरस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। So I'll just share a few thoughts on this, and then other devotees that have observed it in the past or understand about it can also speak up and chime in about what their understandings are. So Purushottam Adhik Mas or Purushottam Adhik Month, this is the full name of this month. It's called Adhik Mas because it's an extra month. Okay, it comes every 3 years, about ballpark every, sometimes even every 2 years, but every 2 to 3 years. 3 years is average. Um, and this happens because there is a discrepancy between the lunar and the solar cycle. So the lunar cycle, like in the sky, if you look at the moon, for the moon to travel travel and come back to that same position in the sky, it takes about 354 days. Okay. Whereas we understand that the solar year is 365 days. The sun is in that exact same position according to the constellations in 365 days. Okay. So there is a discrepancy. There is about 11 days worth of discrepancy between the lunar cycle and the solar cycle. So according to our scriptures, and this is mentioned by Vashisht Muni in some places in our scriptures, that there is a difference of 11 days ballpark every year between lunar and the solar cycle. So, since in our Vedic culture, we typically follow the lunar cycle, you probably understand that, right? We follow the lunar months. So, the months are a little bit different. They're shorter compared to the solar months, which is more followed in the Christian calendar. What happens is to overcome this deficiency which lunar cycle brings, that is about 11 days every year. So after 3 years, there is about a whole month, almost 32 to 33 days, or 30 to 33 days that are extra, that are spare in the according to the lunar cycle. So to level it up, there is this provision of Adhik Mas, an extra month that we get as part of Vedic culture in every 3 years. Okay, so this is called Adhik Mas. Now, the problem with this month was, in this month in Adhik Mas, it's also called Mal Mas. Okay, Mal. Anybody knows what is the meaning of Mal? Like we say Amal, or so Amal is opposite of Mal. But
The
what is
impurities or dirt?
Yeah, Mal technically refers to stools. So it's something very contaminated. So, and Amal means, like we say, Granth Srimad Bhagavatam is Amal Puran, right? So it's completely free of any impurities, any contamination, like you said. And Mal refers to something which is very contaminated, typically like stools, something very bad. So Adhik Mas is also called Mal Mas by people that follow mundane religion or ritualistic religion, like karm kandi type of religion. Okay, who can tell me? So let's take different people's understandings. Let's say maybe Hiral Mataji or Puja Mataji or Hema Mataji could tell. When I say karm kandi or mundane religion, ritualistic religion, what is the purpose of that religion? Why do people follow that kind of religiosity?
To prevent themselves from the negative sinful reactions,
Okay.
bad reactions, and to purify themselves in order to purify their actions so as to they can and to get the blessings of the demigods.
Sure. Yes. Yes. Perfect. Yes, Hema Mataji.
Yeah, so I think my understanding is that because it's to get material, to have some gratification, something for yourself. So if you want to achieve something, but for yourself, so it's more for like your own endeavors.
Right. Yes. So both of you are correct, but Hema Mataji's point, that is the bigger point because that's their main intention. So they do want, freedom from sinful reactions. They want to purify their karma. Yes, that's also, but mainly people want just some things from through this religion. So they want to make their material life more comfortable in this world. They want to get some opulences, some fruitive benefits, basically. So that's why it's called karma kanda, or ritualistic religion, which is for fruitive purposes, for personal gains and benefits. So they follow. So for that there are provisions in Vedas. In every month there are certain demigods that are worshipped, certain days that are very auspicious, certain tithis that are followed, and so we do a lot of things according to those tithis. For example, let's say somebody's getting married, so they will get their astrology chart checked out, and according to the proper position of constellations and auspicious time, they will get married, or they will do some certain samskars, right? Upnayan sanskar, or various other ceremonies are done at during certain tithis in the month, right? But Adhik Maas, since it comes every 3 years, it has no auspicious tithis. It has no there are no samskaras done by the Karmkandi people, by the mundane religion. Okay, so there is no auspicious days when they can get married in this month. Nothing special is done. No demigod worship, no special fasting, or nothing is done. Okay, so since their goal through the religion is to make their life comfortable, this month is wasteful to them, because in this month they cannot do anything to get this month cannot give them anything, because they don't have any days, any special tithis to get anything out of, right? So they condemn this month, they criticize this month, and it has been labeled as Malmas, because it has no auspicious tithis, which means it's just contaminated, nothing special can be done. So this is the reason why it's called Malmas, okay? So now there are many stories related to this. We don't have time for many stories, but there are different stories. One of the basic story is that the deity of Adhik Maas. So in Vedic culture, everything is very specific, very personal, right? It's not like impersonal, just anything and everything is same. Everything is personal. Everything has sentiments. Everything has a relationship. Everything can be served, right? Whether it's a tree, it's a stone, it's a plant, it's an animal, it's a river, it's a different types of gods. They are all deities, right? Celestial bodies. Let's say sun is not just like a piece of rock, or moon is not just a celestial body. There is a deity that serves that body. So there is a Surya Dev, or there is a Chandra Dev that's residing on that particular planet. So there is a person, and we have a very specific service, very particular, nice relationship with that person, and service towards that person. So each month is similarly also, each month has a deity. So Adhik Maas also has a deity. Okay. Now, when I say Adhik Maas has a deity, there are two things about it. One is that Adhik Maas is a person, is a personality, a lady, a personality. So she got upset because people are calling her names, nobody's doing anything auspicious, people are condemning her, criticizing her, right? So she went to Lord Narayan, that everybody has rejected me, so I'm taking your shelter. Please help me. Can something be done for me? I feel very useless. I feel very wasteful, very rejected. So Narayan said, "Okay, I will have to take you to the Purushottam, to the Supreme Person, Krishna, in Golok Vrindavan." So Lord Narayan took this deity of Adhik Maas to Krishna in Golok Vrindavan, when he heard her pleas, he said that not only will you become the most important month, okay, for my devotees, right? Anybody else, Krishna just lets them be because they just want to enjoy in this world. Krishna is mostly concerned with his devotees. For my devotees, you will become the most dear month, actually dearer than my Radharani's month, which is Kartik month. You will be more important. You will be given even more importance than Kartik month. The activities that are done in your time, during your duration, will be million times more beneficial, 1,000 times more beneficial, million times more beneficial than when they're done usually, and even 1,000 times more beneficial than when they're done in Damodar month or Kartik month. So that's how much importance I'm going to give to you. Not only that, I accept you in my shelter. I accept you as my wife, under my care. So in this way, he gave a lot of importance, and he said, I give you my name also, because Krishna's name is non-different from Krishna. We know that, right? So he said, you will be henceforth called not Adhik Mas or Mal Mas, but actually Purushottam Mas, because I will personally be since there is no worshipable deity. So when I was saying deities, one is that there is a person, okay? And then that month has a deity that is dear to that month. Okay, so for example, Kartik Mas's deity is Radharani, worshipable deity or Adhishtatri Devi. So Adhik Mas had no deity assigned to her to serve. So I will be your deity, the Lord Purushottam, the Supreme Person, Krishna himself. I will be the presiding deity for this month, and this month will be very, very dear to my devotees. So this is like a very basic backstory of the Purushottam Adhik Mas. There are some other aspect. There are some other stories also related to this. That it is described in Narsingha Puran that when Hiranyakashipu asked several boons from Lord Brahma, you remember all the various ways he tried to manipulate death. He tried to cheat death, and he said, I shouldn't die in day or night, inside or outside, in earth, water, or skies. I should not die with any weapon, with any human or animal or any creation of Brahma, like that. So he covered all his bases. And in Narsingh Puran, there is one extra thing that he asked for, was that I should not die in any of the months of the year. So it is described in Narsingh Puran that when Narsingadev came, he killed him in the Adhik Mas, because this is not a traditional day month of the year. So this provision was also made in this way that that in the Adhik Mas, which is not a traditional month of the year, he will be Hiranyakashipu will be killed in that month. That's another story related to Adhik Mas. But the main thing is, Purushottam is name of Krishna. We just read this chapter, Purushottam Yoga, the yoga of the Supreme Person. He's called the Supreme Person. Uh, Purush word typically refers to a male. In human realm, we divide as Purush or Stri. Purush refers to is referred to male, but it basically means an enjoyer. Okay, in the human realm, in the amongst the jivas, actually there is no enjoyer. Okay, so this term purusha is not very appropriate for males because they are not enjoyers. Everybody is a servant. Both males and females, they are both servants of the Lord. They're not supposed to be enjoyers. They're supposed to be enjoyed. Purusha means enjoyer. Okay, so the males of this world, Purushas may think they have this Purusha Bhiman. They may think that we are the enjoyers, but actually, the supreme enjoyer, the topmost enjoyer, is only Krishna. So that's why he's called a Purushottama. Topmost among all Purushas, the best of all Purushas, is the Purushottam. So that's why we read in this chapter, Krishna said that Yomam evam asammudo janati purushottamam. Whoever is completely unbewildered and understands me as Purushottam, sa sarva with bhajti mam. So he, with all his means, with all his resources, will do my bhajan, will worship me. Sarva bhavena bharta, with all his bhav, with all his sentiments, with all his surrender, he will worship me. So that's Krishna's instruction and injunction in this chapter that he should be worshipped as the Supreme Person. And you know that Purushottam, like for example, Lord Ram is described as Maryada Purushottam, right? Krishna is described as Leela Purushottam. So Lord Ram, when he comes, he is the Supreme Person, but he comes in this role of a ideal, perfect gentleman. So Lord Ramchandra has, the topmost conduct of all humans. He sets the highest standard that ideal, because everybody's calling themselves Purusha, but they do not have the conduct of a proper Purusha, of an ideal gentleman, an ideal person. So Lord Ram establishes that topmost maryada or topmost conduct that one should have. So he's called Maryada Purushottam. When Krishna comes, he does not care so much about conduct because he's beyond the rules and regulations. Lord Ram is also beyond rules and regulations, but he's just teaching us. But Krishna does not follow any rules and regulations. Even, when he comes, he just breaks all kinds of rules. He's stealing, and he's stealing gopis' clothes, and he's stealing butter, and he's breaking pots, and he's running around with monkeys and playing, eating food from the hands, or not from the hands, but gopas will eat their food, they'll put it in the mouth, they will taste it, and from their mouth they will give it to Krishna. That's how much, that's how they will share food with Krishna. So in this way, Krishna is having very charming, very endearing pastimes, breaking all kinds of rules and regulations that are beyond our comprehension, beyond the understanding of an ordinary person. So Krishna is Leela Purushottam, right? So we are very ordinary, but Krishna is exceptional, is inconceivable, beyond our imagination, beyond our understanding. His plans and his pastimes are. So he's Leela Purushottam. And then when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, Mahaprabhu who gave us the chanting of the holy names, this Sankirtan movement he inaugurated. So he gave love, love of Krishna very freely to everyone. Patra patra na dekhi. So he does not care who is qualified or who's unqualified. He does not, na kare vichar. He does not care. He does not think about who deserves this mercy, who deserves this prema, who does not deserve it. He just goes to door, knocks on every person's door, and gives this prem to everyone. So he's prema Purushottam. So we have Maryada Purushottam, Leela Purushottam, and Prema Purushottam. And then typically the name Purushottam is actually used for which form of Krishna? Now they're all Purushottam, but which form is very, very dearly referred to as Purushottam? Let's ask, okay, who wants to take a guess?
What is the question again?
Which form of Krishna is very dearly referred to as Purushottam? All of them are Purushottam, but
Oh, I know.
I'm sure you know.
Associated with Purushottam Kshetra.
Yes. So Nagarjuna Prabhu gave the hint. What is called Purushottam Kshetra? There is a form of Krishna that resides in a place called Purushottam Kshetra. Yes, Puja Mataji.
Mataji, is it related to Govardhan Parvat? Something?
Govardhan. Okay.
Jagannath ji, Mataji.
Jagannath ji. Hari Bol.
Acha.
Yes. So Jagannath ji is called Purushottam. He resides in Purushottam Kshetra. So, and and then other little story that was coming to my mind, and then after this I'll stop because there are so many things we can keep going about. Jagannath Rath Yatra is coming, as you know, July, or end of June, July. So, so you know what happens before the Rath Yatra happens? Who remembers that we did a sequence of 5 classes, I think, a couple years back. Who remembers the sequence of events? What happens? So first thing that happens is Jagannath ji comes out and he takes a snan, he takes a bath, okay? On the parapet on the outside, in front of everyone. So Jagannath ji gives darshan and is given bath, okay? Public communal bathing. He's given a bath. So you would say, what is so special about that? Wouldn't he be getting abhishek every day, or every so often? So the story about that is, so Jagannath ji, everybody must know that he's Daru Brahm, and the decorations on his body, Daru Brahm means he's a deity made of wood, okay? And the decorations on his body are not made of chemicals or some long-lasting permanent chemicals and things. The decorations that you see on his body are made of herbs and plant-based pigments, okay? So they are very temporary. So as soon as you do abhishek of Jagannath ji, all those decorations will wash off, okay? So he's not given abhishek every day or every so often, like in regular temples or other deities are given, like Radha Krishna abhishekam is done, or Narayan, or Ram Sita. His abhishek is done in a very unique way. So since they cannot wash him because all the pigments will wash off, right? And it's a very complicated decorations he has on him. So they cannot keep decorating him every day. So what they do is every day for abhishek, they show him a mirror, okay? And they show him his picture and they wash the mirror. So the abhishek is given by showing him the darpan, the mirror in which the abhishek happens. So, but every year when he takes the snan, that's the only actual snan that he gets. only actual abhishekam or snan, but actually water and various other, milk and yogurt and juices and other things are poured, honey and other things are poured over him. So that's the only snan that he gets. And when that happens, what do you think will happen? All his pigments, everything will get washed off, right? So what happens after Snan Yatra? What happens after that day of Snan? He is taken ill. Okay, so it is described that because he's taking Snan in such cold weather outside, he's taken ill. But actually, what is happening is all his pigments are washed off. So for next 10 days or so, his private servants, who are called Shabras, if you remember the story of Jagannath Ji, I will not go into story. We have discussed that story many, many times. Shabras is that caste of servants that serve, that are the personal servants of Jagannath Ji. This is the caste in which they're very low caste. Okay, this is the caste in which Shabri came in Lord Ramchandra's pastime. So these are not the pandits or the pandas that serve in the temple because they are very low caste. This personal service of tending to Jagannath Ji is given to the Shabras. So they then paint him, refurbish him, and fix him up. Okay, and then he goes out for his Rath Yatra. So the reason I brought this up is since this is a wooden deity who has very Jagannath Ji has very temporary sort of decorations on him. The deity has to be the Daru Brahm deity. The body of Jagannath Ji is changed every so often. How often is that? It's every Adhik Maas that coincides with Ashar Maas, which is very rare. So it's like every 19 or every 12 years. When there is a special Adhik Maas, that's when Jagannath Ji wants his body changed, and the previous body is sent into the ocean, and the new body is made from a different wood. So this happens only when so Adhik Maas is itself rare because it comes every 3 years, and then Adhik Maas coinciding with Ashad Maas is even more rare, and that happens like every 12 years or so, every maybe 10 years sometimes every 19 years or so. So that's called Nav Kalebaram. Anyway, so many different things about Adhik Maas, but the ultimate point is that Adhik Maas is very significant spiritually, very potent, very powerful. We should do a lot of spiritual activities in this month. We should try to maximize our time right from the first thing in the morning. Increase your chanting, whatever number of names you chant, increase them. Do more, okay, because you get much more credits. Secondly, sing some extra bhajans every day, like take vows, okay? Take vows that I'm going to sing, let's say, Chaurashtakam is sung on Chaurashtakam, which is Navya's favorite song, favorite bhajan, that is sung every day. So you can take a vow to sing that, or you can take a vow to sing Jagannathashtakam, or you can, whatever you want, you can take a vow to recite this chapter 15, which takes like, I said, 7 to 10 minutes hardly. You can take a vow to give up certain things like some food item or some sweets or something that you think you should curtail. So certain activities you can cut down and in order to increase your spiritual activities. So basically you can think of every day being an Ekadashi but much more powerful than Ekadashi. That's how powerful that Purushottam Adhik Maas is. So there are it is said that if someone takes 1 million baths in holy water, okay, that is not even close to the benefit one gets by following one day of Adhik Maas. So let's say today is the first day. If you follow this one day properly, right, that's much more than taking 1 million baths in holy waters. So that's the potency.
May I ask a question, Mataji?
Yes, Madhavi.
Mataji, what does it mean by following one day of Purushottam Mass? I may have missed something in the beginning, I guess.
No, following means keeping some fast. Like how do you follow Ekadashi? Well, Ekadashi there is special fasting, but you
Yes.
increase your spiritual activities, right? Take some vows. You can share with us here in this call if you want. So certain do's and don'ts are done. You can decide. Let's say today you decided I'm going to chant. I don't know how much you chant, I'm just making it up. But let's say you chant 4 rounds. So you decide I'm going to now start chanting 6 rounds every day of this month, okay? You may decide that I'm going to chant chapter 15 of Bhagavad Gita, that I'm going to read 3 verses of Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam every day. I'm going to attend Bhagavatam class every day, whatever, I don't know. You may come up
Okay.
with certain vows which you will follow, okay, every day. So that's called following a vrata. Or you can decide, I will give up, I will eat only. These are not recommendations.
Okay, these are
Please, yeah,
personal
personal.
agendas, like
Yes,
no special do's, just how to uplift your own personal
yes,
activities during this
exactly.
month.
Your
Okay,
personal vow to Krishna,
got
and
it,
it,
Mataji.
yeah, and you will not get it. Remember this. This is the most important point. This is not the kind of vow where if you're not able to keep it or follow it, you will get anything negative. Okay, there are no negative points. This is not the kind of exam where if you answer wrong, you will get negative scoring. Okay,
Yes,
but
yes, Mataji.
if you score it right, then you will get millions of times positive marks.
Right, right,
Okay.
Mataji.
So nothing
Yes,
is lost, but everything is gained by following it.
yes, yes, Mataji. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's what I mean by certain do's and don'ts that you decide and you follow. Don't do excessive, just something that's reasonably possible for you in your day-to-day routine. Because
Ji, Mataji.
yeah. It should be such that when the next time Adhik Maas comes or Kartik Maas comes or these important tithis come, you would feel like doing something. So make it relishable. Okay. If you like singing, maybe you can do extra singing, extra chanting, extra kirtan, extra hearing. If you like hearing, reading. If you want to avoid certain things from food items point of view or certain qualities, let's say being angry, being irritated, things like that, you were trying to cut back on and start cutting back on those things like that.
Yeah, which you enjoy, Mataji, right? Which you
Yes.
enjoy doing, then you'll be able to keep up with that thing or ritual,
Yeah.
I guess.
Increase the spiritually enjoyable things and decrease the materially enjoyable.
Materialistic enjoy. Yes.
Okay, who else wants to share anything? If not, we can try to read a couple of verses of Bhagavad Gita. Nagarjun Prabhu, Sheetal Mataji, you want to share anything? In Mahabharata also the story comes where Krishna told Pandavas when they were in their Vanvas, Krishna was meeting with them and he told Pandavas and Draupadi that this tragedy, all this reversal has befallen them because they criticized Adhik Maas or Purushottam Adhik Maas in their previous lives. They failed to follow it, and not only not following, despite knowing the importance, and they criticized in various ways. And Mother Draupadi's criticism, he described to her in detail what she did. So that story also comes in Mahabharata. But yeah, it's very important time. So please follow it. And if you want to share your do's and don'ts, your vows, please do so. One of the things I was thinking is, okay, hold on, let me just stop the call. Well, thank you everyone for joining. I'm just going to stop the recording.